Hey, so this is my 6 for Sunday TBR. Usually I pick these at random and I show you that, but we're not going to be doing that this time because I am tired. Also this time it's going to be a mixture of books that I haven't read and I have. The first book is Spice Road by Maya Ibrahim. This is in a world where spice magic improves certain affinities with people who drink Mizzer tea, and Imani is a really good fighter. Sorry, this is quite a precarious setup. With an affinity for iron, and she's going to be a great defender of the city, except her reputation has kind of been tarnished, her entire family's reputation, because her brother stole some of the spice and went off and died in the wastes, except maybe he's not dead. And so before he reveals the location of this hidden city, she is going out to try and bring him back, accompanied by Kane, who is a roguish but handsome Jinny, and Taha, a powerful beast seer. And so it might be a little bit of a love triangle. This is also, I think, the first in a trilogy. And I think it sounds interesting. I've never read about spice magic before, and it's a really interesting concept. The second book is Boncrier's Moon by Catherine Purdy. It is the first in a duology, and the blurb is: Bonecriers have a sacred duty to keep the dead from preying on the living, but this power comes with sacrifice, a promise of dedication, the cost of their one true love. And so Elise has been preparing since birth to become the matriarch of the Bonecriers, and Bastian is her love. His father is also killed by a Bonecrier, but in a nice twist, there's another protagonist, Sabine, who is Elise's friend, and is going to try and stop this from going the worst way possible. The third book is Year of the Reaper by Makia Lucier, and I'm just going to read this one out from Goodreads. Before an ambush by enemy soldiers, Lord Cassio was an engineer's apprentice on a mission entrusted by the king, but when plague sweeps over the land, leaving countless dead and devastating the kingdom, even Cass's title cannot save him from rotting in a prison cell in a merciless sickness. 3 years later, Cass only wants to return to his home in the mountains and forget the past. But home is not what he remembers. His castle has become a refuge for the royal court, and they have brought their enemies with them. When an assassin targets those closest to the queen, Cass is drawn into a search for a killer, one that leads him to form an unexpected bond with a brilliant young historian named Lena. Cass and Lena soon realise that who is behind the attacks is far less important than why. They must look to the past, following the trail of a terrible secret, one that could threaten the kingdom's newfound peace and plunge it back into war. The fourth book is Mirage by Samaya Dodd. This is also the first book in a duology. The blurb is: in a star system dominated by the brutal Vathic Empire, 18-year-old Imani is a dreamer. She dreams of what life was like before the occupation. She dreams of writing poetry like the old world poems she adores. She dreams of receiving a sign from Dia that one day she too will have adventure and travel beyond her isolated moon. Though when adventure comes for Mani, it's not what she expects. She's kidnapped by the regime and taken in secret to the royal palace, where she discovers that she's nearly identical to the cruel half-Vathic Princess Marum. The princess is so hated by her conquered people that she requires body double, someone to appear in public as her, ready to die in her place. As Mani is forced into her new role, she can't help but enjoy the palace's beauty, and her time with the princess's fiancé, Idris. But the glitter of the court lies a world of violence and fear. If she ever wants to see her family again, she has to play the princess to perfection, but one wrong move could lead to her death. The fifth book is Jade Fire Gold by June C. Tan, and the blurb is: Anne is no one with no past and no family. Alton is a lost heir, his future stolen away as a child. When they meet, Alton sees in Anne a path to reclaiming the throne, and sees a way to finally unlock her past and understand her arcane magical abilities, but they may have to pay a far deadlier price than either could have imagined. And what I remember of this is that I think it was kind of inspired or drawing inspiration from Zuko and Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender. It is also a standalone, and the US cover is so much prettier. I love this color scheme, but the US is, yeah. And last but certainly not least, we have this beauty, Seven Faceless Saints by M.K. Lobb, and it is not the only one in the series, but I don't know what, is it a duology, a trilogy, I don't know. The blurb is, in the city of Ambrasia, saints and their disciples rule with terrifying and unjust power, playing favourites while the unfavoured struggle to survive. After her father's murder at the hands of the military, Rosanna Lasatosa is willing to do whatever it takes to dismantle the corrupt system, tapping into her powers as a disciple of patience, joining the rebellion, and facing the boy who broke her heart. As the youngest captain in the history of Palazzo Security, Damien Venturi is expected to be ruthless and strong and to serve the saints with unquestioning devotion. But 3 years spent fighting in a never-ending war have left him with deeper scars than he wants to admit, and the fear of confronting the girl he left behind. Now a murderer stalks Ambrasia's citizens. As the body count climbs, the palazzo is all too happy to look the other way. That is, until a disciple becomes the newest victim. With every lead turning into a dead end, Damien and Rose must team up to find the killer, even if it means digging up buried emotions. As they dive into the underbelly of Ambrasia, the pair will discover something more sinister and far less holy. With darkness closing in and time running out, will they be able to save the city from an evil so powerful that it threatens to destroy everything in its path?